Hi, Aries. Welcome to your November 2024 reading, Scorpio season reading. All information to work with me one-on-one is below, or a direct link to my schedule. You will also, if you go to my Instagram, I'll actually post it on here. I have been. There will be a sale going on for the full moon weekend for all my services to be booked in advance, like not for the day of, but for advance. So that will be, you can do it for you, for a gift. You can check out all my services that I have available at this time. Treat yourself to Venusian special. And all information to work with me is below. My extended version of this reading will be in a link below, because I felt a lot of emotion and a lot of things coming into your reading. I've been thinking about you a lot, just so you know. So if you're a part of this community, just so you know, I've been thinking about Aries a lot. Thank you so much for also being here. But I felt like before today, for some reason, it was premature. So we're going to get into your reading. The extended version is below. Everything is below. Instagram's below. I have not posted my TikTok, but it's Venusian Wave, all the same. Okay, Aries, what is happening for you at this time? Yeah, I didn't even do many notes on for you. You may feel a lot of energy happening right now. You may feel like your brain is catching up to a lot that you've digested. You may also have realized that you've overlooked a lot at one point in your life. And now, I'm sorry that I'm being distracting. I need notes. I need notes for all the linear stuff. I am a right brain person. I'm both, but like, I'm learning to not overwhelm myself. And maybe that is for you too, overwhelming your nervous system. This may be overwhelming your nervous system as much as you need to know everything that's being digested, as much as you need to know everything that's coming out. Instead of putting your energy into, and for you, I know you'll understand this, this is taking care of yourself. Instead of putting your energy into trying to fix it right now, observe. Observe everything that's maybe flooding your brain and where it wants to take you physically. There's maybe a strong urge to express yourself and write at this time, and no matter what age you are, and I highly recommend writing, that's what's going to keep you going on this fortunate path. This is the fortuitive time. This is where it's going to bring up family, extended family, but that is where the luck is headed right now in your life. For Aries rising specifically, this is falling into that's your house of communication, where Jupiter is right now. And Virgo's in the 6th house of work, health, and pets. And for your health, for your mental health, you need to create something. If you need that, if that's the only validation you need, boom. If your mental health is suffering because you don't want to create something, because you're scared of something, you're scared of admitting things, you're scared of seeing things the way that they have been or the way that they are moving forward and digesting this information. Maybe you're scared of trying something new, moving forward in a specific way, but look at all that you have. You have an abundance here of knowledge, perhaps values that are existing within you, and then they need to be shared. There's a spiritual aspect to what you're being pushed to create. I'm sorry, everything is literally in not the best spot for me. Preparation, Aries. This is the energy right now. The full moon will also be in your 2nd house of resources. So yeah, no pushing through this. It's moving with it. What if you're in your brain and you're doing your normal routine, but something else wants to come out of you? It's another way of exercising, another way of expression, another way of discipline is also doing what your soul is calling you to do. There's a lot that you have to offer and that you already have. And you have to stand on that too. This is about creating something to stand on in a way that isn't just maybe what you've accomplished externally. And here are the cards. And here you are. You know, you're not risk adverse. So if you find yourself being and feeling risk adverse, it's possible that you need to find another risk that feels more suited for you at this time. Taking risks creatively is what makes the world go, especially in a time right now where this is the pinnacle. I don't care what anyone else says. I've been seeing this for a long time. There is validation out there, but this is the pinnacle. This is the change. If you want to make a pivot and it feels like too big, look back and realize what you've done thus far. This is only going to flex that trust muscle that you already have. And we have the lovely sun at the bottom. So we'll talk about that too. I'm going to pull all these out so you can see them. The way that you decide to communicate will be healing not only for you, but for the people around you. Something inside you needs to be freed, especially from the mind and through the throat. Whatever that is, whatever you're conjuring subconsciously, I believe that when we're in a place where we want to change, we want to move, we want something to shift, yet we feel so devoted, impactful by what we've already done that leaving feels like a disservice. But really that energy is creeping out all around you. So if and you can feel it, and if it's coming from the boss, everybody's going to feel it. You'll start to see more. If you're the boss, you're going to start to see more of how your energy is subconsciously affecting others. But if you're going to be there, you've learned to accept, if I need to be here for this X amount longer until the moment strikes, until however you go about choosing your life and how you communicate with your family, especially if there's a Virgo, Aries, or Taurus involved. This also looks very like a Taurus situation, which we'll talk about, because this is bringing you to be able to speak up in whether it's in your relationship, in your marriage, if you're getting married, being able to express things that you don't realize that you haven't voiced. And because certain things you accept, and every time you come to an acceptance of your path, you conjure a specific person or something into your realm that gives you more strength to stay. It gives you a reason to stay, whether it's a relationship or how you relate to money, whatever that is, whether it's more money, another person, both, the perks, everything starts to flow in, and it keeps you maybe there, it keeps you steady. Or you get little things along the way, which is great, but this is a calling. Libra and Aries are both being called. This is a calling. And you're being hello, pick up the phone. You're being called right now, Aries, to overcome doubt with this risk, because you recognize, if this is one specific area, or this doubt is now trickling down into other areas of my life, even if you're not publishing right now, even if you're not putting the thing out there right now, it's the act of doing it that builds that foundation. And if you've built a foundation in your life and your marriage, and you're building a marriage and you're building a foundation, and you're going to build situations that help you flex this muscle even further. You don't realize that if you're suppressing something that deeply needs to be said, that's within your values, if it's just come out and you just realize this is a part of your values and you need to share it with this person, then the situation calls for it. And it will be exposed, and it will ask you to see the truth. And it's possible that you didn't want to see the truth in the situation because it's given you so much and there's so much to be grateful for, but that's okay. No one says you have to move on. No one says things need to stop. But this person may, especially if it's a Taurus, or if it's not a Taurus and it's an earth sign, it's someone that you're deeply connected to, whether it's a relationship, romantic, or friend, whether it's an Aries, Taurus, or Virgo, around, it could even be a Leo, around the full moon on the 15th, so this will come out before then. Watch the full moon. I don't know what card you got, but there's a full moon reading out as well. I mean, the sun came out for like almost everybody. This situation's going to help you resolve it. Whoever it is going to say something or going to speak up. Someone during this full moon is going to acknowledge the situation. It could be you. You may face it head on, but if you're someone who needs to be more receptive and wait for this person, and you've been so patient or you're actively trying to do that, it will come up. This full moon is gracious and lovely, but it's also, for Taurus, it's more impactful. It's more spontaneous. You know, there's more to this full moon. At this time, disruptive is the word being used, but it doesn't have to be a negative disruption. This can be a disruption that like ultimately saves your marriage, ultimately saves the relationship, ultimately, and not saying that there's something that needed to be saved, but it needed to be nurtured, right, differently. And maybe it saves your relationship with this person by letting each other go at this time, or choosing to have a different kind of relationship, right? Putting up boundaries. Maybe it is letting go of the person in a romantic way and they just become partner if you have kids in this world. Or if you're needing to express your individuality, it may call out this side of another person, because of course it's going to affect them. So it's going to have them have to stretch that, like, this is another endeavor, and maybe this opens up their individuality, or maybe you felt safe enough because they're in your presence, and then you get to give it back and forth to each other. And it doesn't have to be something of the ego, but there is something deeply spiritual evolving from this creative endeavor, or this new risk that you're taking with yourself, and it makes you feel like yourself again. And I say that, and I think I might have said that to you last time, but there's been, especially on the cardinal signs we'll talk about because of the shedding from Pluto, there's been a lot of unmasking to do. And you're at this point where all of a sudden all 18, 16, 1,000 masks are falling off all at once, because it's Aries style to burn it all down. Or to burn through it, I should say, not all down. That's more of a Sagittarius thing. Mercury can be giving you that push right now, but they didn't come out here. You're revolutionizing the way that your life is headed. So trust the process of any creative endeavor, whether it's writing or not. This is bringing you all that you need to keep it moving forward, and giving you the light and giving you the energy to trust your intuition, because intuition's the body. And it's being able to notice the difference between your programming and those emotions and what's true and real, whether there's anyone else that can see that, because cardinal signs have that heightened intuition, and yours happens to be fire, which happens to be spirit. So Mars in Cancer pushed something forward for everyone. Mars is now in Leo, and Leo is now exposing it to the world. So you are going to be expressing some things that you've taken with you in your mind, and you don't realize how much you've just by having that powerful mind, how that has shaped your life and how you have been a part of it. And there could be this renewing of vows, or this, it could, of course, it can go one way or the other for a lot of you. And it's just on a spectrum. Like, how deeply do you want to express your love to one another, or is expressing love letting go? And it's possible that we're going to get into that into the next part for sure. We'll find out this Taurus situation, but you've given each other a lot, but now it's like, well, what's that deep value? And it relates to something in your childhood, and you no matter how old you are, you're healing this part of yourself that you've maybe been running from for a very long time, and you've created a lot of success from it, sure, Aries, in many ways, but there's been something that you are going to be confronted with if you don't get ahead of it. Either way, by the 19th, we'll feel a relief. I'm telling this to all of the cardinal signs. Maybe wait till then to take the risk, or decide if you're sure if this is coming from a place of empowerment or a place of hurt, and only you will know that, because it can go as far for some of you as like you're trying to run away from the marriage instead of facing yourself first, and you don't want to do something that you'll regret, and if you already have, it may be time to face the music. Okay, but we'll get more into it in the next part. That link is below. I'm trying to keep them a little bit more concise right now, and I think it's working for us. But yeah, there's a lot here to talk about still already, and just every time you express yourself, whether if it's just make it for you right now, you know, face your own thoughts, face your own, your process, like allow yourself access to what you are digesting, processing, right? Maybe you need a little bit more rest or a little bit more alone time, and you have to be able to carve that out in your life. And don't shame yourself for it, regardless of what your life looks like, okay? We'll see you in the next part. All information's below. And we'll see you soon, Aries. See you soon.